All right, folks, welcome back. It's Reese Townsend, Jace Parker Davidson, and Christopher Rogers, aka C Rod, also known as
Woohoo.
America.
Cheap
Uh,
vote for C-Rod.
yeah. Although,
Very cheap.
um, me and Townsend were like on the Wayback Machine, finding all the old HOW shit, and he found my old Shocker site, and the last update was Shocker defeating C Rod in SSE action. So suck on that, bitch.
Wait a minute. I also lost to Shaq,
I
so
don't
let's
care.
not forget that.
I don't care. That's
He hates
between you and Shaq. All I gotta say is Shocker, the dude, my first character that has been torn to pieces in HOW at my expense. His last known thing on the internet was defeating C Rod. Your shitty first character.
Yes, very shitty.
You and Master C should have been a tag team.
He wasn't in SSC at the time. That would have been great.
You and Chris CK should have been a tag team.
I hated CK. I really did. He and I just did not get along.
I just all right. So LDM, Luchadores de Morte, are talking shit on Twitter. So I shot KO a message, and I'm like, hey, they're talking shit about you on Twitter, dude. Get your Twitter account active or set up a new one. And Max doesn't even care what they said or anything. He goes, first thing he says, they speak English. Oh, you guys are so racist. War games. Jace, talk about that. OOC is legit. Were you legit surprised to learn that you're going to be a captain for the big boy event?
I was. I mean, it's something you hope for, knowing war games coming up, but never in a million years did I think that, while I was having many heart attacks reading the bonus segment, that I would actually be named a captain for war games. So, I mean, it's a huge honor. It's given me a whole new list of reasons to be paranoid and worry and rack my brain until, I start to throw things and decide to rage quit.
You could always go back to Peach State.
Okay, I changed my mind.
Are they open? Are they even open?
I believe they do a show a month, don't they, or something like that? I don't know. I don't know.
We wouldn't want them to strain themselves.
At that point, don't you just go angle fed?
Yes, you do.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So Jace, every year, let's talk about the rules first. It's a spin-off. I've always been an old. A lot of the guys here in HOW kind of think along the same way I do. That we're all old school wrestling fans. We like the old school, and I mean old school. I'm talking like back when tag teams mattered. Back when WCW was legit and not going down the tubes. Back when you had legit big boy pay-per-views and real feuds, real storylines, that type of. I'm not literally talking about 50s, 60s, 70s wrestling. Back when wrestling was, at least on the TV, awesome to watch. And one of my favorite things of all time was always the War Games match. Um, so I brought that HOW. It's the only reason I do not write week to week, because it literally, once I write War Games every year, I'm done till next. I'm done. I'm done for the next 3 months. Um, and knowing what's been going on with my school and stuff, Mike stepped up the last couple of pay-per-views and wrote the main event, which I normally write everything. Um, but these guys, America and C Rod, will tell you is um, War Games is no fucking joke. I do not let any filler go in there, and if you fuck up at War Games, you're really fucked for the rest of the year. There's a lot of people that didn't put forth effort at War Games, and they end up just getting destroyed in the match, and it's kind of hard for them to rehab their rep OC wise from it. Last year we had it on a Civil War field, Gettysburg, and what we had was half the ring. Each ring was a different color, north and south. You had to pin your say it was Best Alliance versus Ground Zero. You had to pin the Ground Zero guy inside the Best Alliance ring. Um, it was pretty legit. I mean, it was kind of interesting how you could actually have a pinfall going on. You had the guy pinned, but you're on the wrong ring, on the wrong side of the cage. It was really fun to write. And then obviously we it all got blown to fucking hell when Benny Newell took a tank and ran it down the side of the fucking thing. But anyway, the rules are pretty simple. It's elimination style. If you're the captain, your team survives. Say it's Jace and Tara. If you guys are the last two, the champion decides who the world champion is. If you're just the only, if there's only one survivor, they're a world champion. No big deal. That's pretty self-explanatory. But if more than one person from that team survives, then it's up to the captain to make that choice. We've had it back in the day. We had Bobinette Carey and Shane Reynolds survived, both from the same team. Bobinette Carey chose herself over Shane Reynolds to be the champion.
Even though Shane had the better score.
Oh, he destroyed her. But I mean, she was second, so I mean, and she put up a cajillion role plays too. So I mean, they were legit the last two, and she chose herself. For the, at that point, I mean, I can't blame her. But if you're gonna be the face, the big boy face, I mean, I thought she would have passed it off to Shane. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. But the rules this year, same thing. Sole survivor wins the title. More than one person survives the team, the champion picks, or the captain picks, I mean. Because we're going to a slave plantation, aka George Washington's house, there won't be any division. There's not going to be. I thought about doing like a red coat and American side of the ring, you know. It all depended on what happened with the captains and what kind of team format comes up. Because with Witness captain, I mean, if he gets like an all ground zero team, you could actually have those, T faggoty bastards have a side. But I don't think we're gonna go that route.
I don't
But
like tea.
the tea and what is it? Fish and chips. You guys want some fish?
I don't
and
like fish and chips either.
Bangers and mash.
Yeah, whatever the fuck it is.
The first.
But the rules are simple. It's kind of like a Royal Rumble. The match starts out with two people. Every 5 minutes, another person comes in. The order will be random. We'll do that on the forums. I'll put out a list of names. You pick the name. Each name has a number associated with it, and you come in at that point. We've had the order does matter because you'd actually come in second. I mean, if you had the best roleplay score, you're gonna win. But if you come in second and the best roleplayer score comes in third, you're eliminated before all the people that you out RP'd even get in the match. So it does get kind of tricky, and then there's some times where I've had years where I had the top two come in like the first three, and we had no eliminations whatsoever for like I don't know how many hours of the match.
I think Mark
Came in
O'Neill came in
First
ninth.
last year, didn't
Yeah.
I? And I went to fifth, I think it was.
Yeah, so it all depends, and I totally make the match up as I go. It's always one of the craziest matches of the year. I'm not even saying it's the best rope match of the year, but it always has the most emotion and most compelling factors, attributing to the outcome. So I look forward to it. It always has heat, right? Even as we're building up to Iconic, you can already people are starting to think about war games, and then the LBI started. Boom, war games talk, and Rumble the Rock's starting to get like that too.
Yeah, see, when you bring up like war games, when war games starts to roll around, I start to think about Rumble at the Rock because that's like for me, that's a huge pay-per-view, you know.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's people get associated with a pay per view that they look forward to the most. For me, it's War Games. War Games is my baby. It's the one that I go crazy with, and then the Rumble at the Rock main event. I wrote the Prison Yard match with Kostoff, or I've been writing the main event where you had crazy shit happening where last couple years people are getting stabbed. You have it's like there's like no like chain wrestling whatsoever in the matches I write for War Games and Rumble the Rock. It literally is like a horror. Like that one year at Rumble the Rock, people just started running, or like it was War Game. I don't know what it was. It was Jet Star just started running. I'm like, how do I start this match with Jet and Max and all them, or Ace, I think it was. And Jet's like, just have me run. I'm like, all right. So you start the match off and you just have one dude just run the other way instead of locking up. It was just greatness. So. But the War Games match, 2 rings, 1 huge cell, only 1 title on the line. War Games winner will obviously be the world champion. So Jace, as a guy that's survived Iconic, survived the Invitational and March to Glory, Now you're going to War Games. You come out of War Games with the title. You make it to War Games and you make it through it. I mean, you're talking about leaving a big boy legacy in a Fed that you just joined. I mean, so what's your thoughts on that when you come into, let's face it, HOW, I think in my head, I will say it, and I don't think I'm exaggerating, is the best roleplay Fed out there. You come from a couple smaller, I would consider smaller feds, but you're the big fish there, and you're coming in here to a big boy fed, and you're the big fish. So I mean, how's that like coming out for you in terms of as an OC guy? Is it a challenge, or is you like, yeah, fuck yeah, I knew I would do that? You know, how's your feelings on that?
I think I was talking to Townsend last night, and I told him if I make it through War Games and I'm still champion, I'm gonna start to think that you're tilting the score in my favor.
No, I don't do that. That's one thing I won't do. If anything, I need you to fucking lose.
If you make it to War Games, if you make it through War Games, I'm gonna start shouting for another match.
um, War Games is gonna be tough, dude. War Games is gonna be tough. You're gonna have 3 teams, 4 people on a team. Um, so you're gonna have 12 people. You versus, and then at the end of the day, you mean we've had teammates turn on each other. So
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't care if you pick me. I don't care. I want that belt.
well, here's the thing with if you want the belt, you definitely don't want to be on Jace's team because if Jace is one of the survivors with you, then it's up to him who gets the belt.
I don't care. I'll go out my way to cost him the match so he's not champ anymore.
Then why would the fuck would he pick you now that you just told him that?
I hope he doesn't. That's the whole thing. I don't want to be on his team. I want to win the belt off him.
Hold on. So why would Silent Witness pick you when you clearly just stated that he was the wrong choice to be a captain?
Yeah.
Because he's my stablemate. And I'm the leader of that stable. That's why he'll pick me. I love you really, Witness.
Oh,
I
Jace.
don't mean what I say. I'm blaming the alcohol.
Yeah. Okay. Jace, who are you looking at is picking for your squad? You obviously don't have to name anybody right now, nothing official, but there will be kind of coming up shortly where you're gonna have to start naming people. First thing, obviously, when you get to the captain, you're like, okay, that's badass. I'm the captain. Then you probably the next thought is, okay, who the fuck am I gonna pick?
Yeah, I'm pretty much at that stage right now. I'm sitting back, I'm thinking who is the third captain, and then that pretty much by process of elimination, takes one guy out of the mix. And I'm just thinking who will, show up at the pay-per-view and who won't pull a Townsend on me.
Ooh,
Ooh.
nice.
Don't pick anybody greedy.
Who at this point, Jace, I think it'd be really hard pressed for you to have a team that doesn't come out as the winner. I mean, if you do it right, if this is me, if I was you, I would take if I could, and I had no choices affect like no other captains affecting my choices, I would pick Mike, Townsend, and then I would take Max Kale, thus putting them all on your team. Because here's the other part of the RP factor is it's a team score. It's like a huge tag team match. You literally could have the best RP score, but if your team blows, you're not going to win it.
Right.
So,
Hashtag Mike 2011.
yes. Explain what happened there, America.
It was Townsend, myself, Varga, and I forget the fourth. Oh, it was you. It was Lee.
Yeah.
Wasn't it? Yeah, it was Lee. And so we had the best overall team score, and I had the highest RP average on the team. So
Because you bought points.
That wasn't that year.
I won War Games anyway.
Yeah.
And so Mike had the highest RP average, but because the team that he was on
Sucked.
blew donkey nuts, he didn't get to win. He finished second.
Even though he had the best RP score. It's a team. It's the ultimate team match, but it still really comes down to if you have the best RP score and you're on the best team, you know you're going to win the title. So it's like you want to get the best squad together, but OOC-wise, you're thinking, okay, who's going to put out 10? I need 3 more guys that are going to put 10 on me. I want to make sure my squad gets out 40, they're top. But it really plays into, really fucks up your IC shit is, okay, why the fuck would Jace take Townsend? Why the fuck could, it's, plus, when you ask these people to be on your team, a lot of them can say no. Straight up tell you no. So, just because you
Oh, they
pick,
can refuse now.
yes, even if you pick somebody, they can still refuse to be on your team.
That kind of blows.
Yeah. It comes, there's a lot of fun that you're going to have lots of ammo coming into war games. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day,
Oh
it
my
is a
God.
team. It's 3 teams of 4. The best team score. We have the 3 teams. We'll say you 3 are the captains: Townsend, Jason, C-Rod. I love C-Rod.
Yay, yay. I'll pick Shaq, Shocker, and Dan.
And FaZe is poser.
And
You guys
Faces
are-
Poser.
You guys, all right. So C-Rod has the best roleplay score. Jace has the best team. Townsend's team just no showed. Like
I
they usually-
quit by.
He quit. So, because Jace's team had the best RP score, we take a look at those 4 people, and whoever has the best RP score of those 4 will be winner of the match. Because you already know there's going to be no double survivors because the best RP score was on C-Rod's team. So that guy's going to eliminate everybody but the top RP score from Jace's team, who will win it. So you literally could have, at the end of the match, Jace and C-Rod. C-Rod has the best RP score, but Jace's team had the best team score. Jace will eliminate C-Rod.
Well, looking at it that way, you would think that more people would want to join my team because they're guaranteed 10 role plays.
No, because I want to win the world title.
Yeah,
I
but
don't care.
But is it? I want to legitimately ask this: is it better to win the world title, or is it better to win war games? Because in some eyes, and I would argue mine, it seems like winning war games is almost as prestigious.
Yeah, but if I win the world title again, I'll be a 3-time world champion.
It all comes down to personal goals. At the end of the day, everybody wants to be world champion.
Mhm.
But I get what you're saying.
I mean, that's the thing, there's only,
it's
what,
a
2
huge
other?
yeah. There's a huge bragging point to say I won war games.
Twice on their own.
And even if you win and you don't win the title, I would think that would put you in line for another title shot anyway.
Yeah, definitely.
Because
So-
trust me, when those scores get posted, I likely said it's what we would look at then to start trying to build feuds for.
Bottom line,
Bottom line. That's right. It's not capital punishment. Ugh.
fucking WWE.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, bastards. And then obviously the bottom line is where every year I will stab someone in the eye, and we move right into Rumble at the Rock, where we already have Jace versus Kostoff booked with the women on the line. Good stuff. This fucking Fed's a machine, man. It just doesn't stop. So Jace, you get the rules, you get the concept with all that info that you now have. Who do you think poses the biggest threat for you? Like, what team out there? Say Witness puts together a squad. What team could Witness put together that you feel like you might be in jeopardy?
Witness, Shane, Max, and Townsend.
Ooh, that's a fucking beast of a team.
I would literally cry if that team got made.
Witness is making notes right now. That's going to be a team. Max is the ultimate wild card because America touched on it a little bit earlier. You don't want to face Max on a weekly show. Pay-per-views, Max will put out 4 or 5 top-notch RPs. If you can get close to his quality with, double the quantity, you sometimes get lucky. But Max will not put 10 out. I'll tell you that much. But his quality will probably... There's a reason Max Cale almost won Wrestler of the Year 2 years ago, and he only wrestled like 5 months. It literally came down to the last show where Mike overtook him. Because Max is dominant role player. He gets the scoring. He knows how to hit each one without doing, okay, at the beginning, I'm going to talk about a little prelude back in 1985 that's happened to my character, and then the whole body, I'm going to have some character development, and then the last paragraph, I'm going to talk about match. That gay-ass formula that a lot of people are using that are starting to lose more and more creativity points with me. He blows that out of the water. He literally makes it flow, description scores. But that was then. I don't know how he's going to roleplay now. He's a total X factor. I have no idea. But if you go off past, it's like, do you gamble on Max on your team knowing he's only going to put up a few and he's not going to max out? But you help the overall team score? It's tough. And last year, obviously, the War Games, we did the auction. Every year we do an auction for either a team captain spot or to get to come out last or something like that. Last year, America and Scottywood battled it to the last dime that either one could afford, and America obviously came out top and then ended up winning the War Games. This year, we'll have. I don't know. I got to talk to America about a couple ideas that we have. The third captain I've already decided on. I will not announce here. I will announce it at the show on Chaos on Friday. It will be announced on Friday. Don't worry. Um, but we do need to get our petty cash fund back up since we you guys hear me?
I
Yeah.
can indeed, yeah.
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 Sorry about that. We do need to get the fund back up after we spent so much of our wad on the fucking site and host. But hosting is $50 a month, so I don't know. We're gonna do something. War games usually are always our time of the year where we build up our petty cash fund again. So, you guys get any ideas to get people to donate 10, 20, whatever here and there? We'll see what we can do. I do know that moving forward, the site shouldn't have any downtime. Shouldn't be this or that. So all that time and effort we spend on trying to fix shit is actually going to be used to better shit. So look for something in terms of war games, in terms of like a little sub site or something like that to really hype it up. And I'm gonna try to do that for every pay per view. But I'm been working on the war games, but I want to get this payroll shit finished first before I do that. But America, if you had to pick a perfect team for war games, the third team, who would it be?
Jace, myself, Mike, and Shane.
That's your four.
Yes.
Townsend, who's your four?
Me, Mike, Witness, and I'll take Jace.
And Jace,
Yeah.
I won't even ask you, Jace, who you think because you're actually a captain. So we'll keep that under wraps. For me, if Lee Best has been the captain before, and I just picked four wrestlers to wrestle the match. For me, I would take Max Kale. I would take Jace. I would take Mike, and I would take Scotty. I think Scotty was automatically going to put up 10.
I don't know, he only managed, what was it, 8 for March to Glory?
War
Yeah.
games, dude. War games. He's going to put 10 up. I would put Scotty in there. Because that way I'm at least guaranteed. I'm at least getting 35 role plays. Good quality. I don't know. Man, it's going to be... Man, I love this time of year. It's hard to call anything. And then obviously with our undercard, we got Kostoff versus Austin Reeves. Kostoff just curb stomped Austin Reeves, our first curb stomp of the year. First one of this era, I believe.
I was going to say, when you said first of this year, it's like it's a yearly basis that costs up curb stomp somebody.
It's like if you're new, you get curb stomped, and then we see, how the D pushes people. We just have Kostoff, curb stomp them, keep them off TV for 3 weeks, bring them back. That would be a good match. And then, like we were talking about earlier, it amazes me that Kostoff, by far, is not our best role player. But the dude already has 2 pay-per-view matches lined up at 2 of the biggest pay-per-views of the year. I mean, people that consider themselves better writers than Kostoff should take some fucking notes. Because the dude gets heat and his character's way over without having any kind of winning record whatsoever. But he's got a match at Rumble the Rock already against the world champion. And he's got a match against Austin Reeves at War Games, and this feud's been going for a while, and people are into the feud. So, America, what do you think it is about Kostoff that generates this much heat and gets him over so much?
he's the proving ground, right? I mean, that's what it is. I mean, he's got a willingness to work with other people, but he's also the proving ground. He's an HOW legend, so you want to prove yourself. You can beat him and move on to the next person. And the thing is that Kostov, I think Mike will attest to this. Reese will attest to this. There's a lot of people that will attest that you don't underestimate him because the moment you do is the moment he gets you. And I mean, I haven't experienced that firsthand because I'm undefeated against him. But I'm just saying that there.
Fuck you.
But yeah, he's just. I think he's the proving ground, and he's you want to stack up and sort of get his respect.
Townsend, what do you think? What is about Kostov?
The fact that he's Chris Kostoff, I don't know, man. I just love the character, love the dude. It was great fun getting to have a match with him at Rumble.
We're starting to lose some technical capabilities here.
Rather than an SSC guy, if you know what I'm saying.
And Reese, you've obviously lost to him. You said you want to face him again, but that probably won't happen.
Yeah, but whatever. I can dream, right?
Probably not. Because in my mind, the fact that you probably are tied up for the next 3 years in feuds.
Good today.
Because let's face it, you're going to have Max KO for the next 8 months.
But he's not fucking with me yet. He's fucking with Jason Shane.
I know, but I told him just destroy Townsend's confidence while it's involved.
Just as I'm starting to get it back.
Yeah, before he gets too confident, just squash him. Just even mention his name once in a segment, he might quit. So just do that.
Can I send a quick personal message to Max?
If he wants a match, I'll give him one.
What's that, America? What do you got?
Max, I just want to let you know that I did not at any point gouge out any of your eyes. I did not lay my hand on a pen of any kind near you. And I respect you as a person, as a human being, and as a mentally psychotic person. So
It sounds like you're groveling.
I don't care, man. I could have a match with Max, and I'll get more over because of it. It's all good.
I just need him to know that I am retired.
That's a good question. You know what? We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll ask, why isn't America defending at War Games? His War Games title that he's won 2 years in a row, he's the War Games champion. Why isn't America strapping his little balls on that are now reside in Missouri, and he won't put them back on and come wrestle? We'll find those answers out when we come back. We'll be right back, folks.